Daedalus and Icarus. Long ago, in the golden age of gods and heroes, there lived a man whose mind was sharper than any sword. Daedalus, the master inventor. He was a genius of craft and creation, builder of wonders, sculptor of lifelike statues, and designer of marvelous machines. He served many kings and dazzled many courts. But his greatest and most dangerous work was built on the island of Crete, under the rule of King Minos. At Minos's command, Daedalus designed a structure unlike anything the world had seen, a twisted, tangled prison of stone and shadow called the Labyrinth. Within it, the king locked away the monstrous Minotaur, a creature with the body of a man and the head of a bull. The labyrinth was so complex, so cunningly made, that even Daedalus himself could barely find the way out. But knowledge is dangerous when held too closely. When Daedalus helped Theseus, the Athenian hero, escape the labyrinth with the king's daughter, Ariadne, King Minos was furious. He could not kill Daedalus, for he was too valuable, but he would not let him leave. So Minos imprisoned Daedalus and his young son, Icarus, high in a tower above the seas, where no door opened and no boat could reach. But Daedalus was not a man to be caged. He watched the seabirds as they soared over the waves. He studied the curve of their wings, the angle of the feathers. And then, an idea took flight in his mind. Escape would not come by land or sea, but through the sky. In secret he gathered wax and feathers. He shaped 2 sets of wings, one for himself, one for Icarus. Layer by layer, he stitched the feathers together with thread and sealed them with wax. They gleamed like the wings of a god. When the wings were ready, Daedalus turned to his son. "Icarus," he said gently, "listen carefully. Fly with me, and we will be free. But you must follow my path. Do not fly too low, or the sea spray will weigh down your wings. And do not fly too high, or the sun will melt the wax. Keep to the middle way." Icarus nodded, his eyes wide with excitement. Together, they stepped onto the edge of the tower. The wind whispered, the ocean roared below, and then, with one great leap, they soared into the sky. The island of Crete fell behind them. The prison was gone. Below, the waves danced, and above, the sun shone bright. At first, Icarus stayed close to his father, gliding smoothly. But soon, the thrill of flight took hold. The wind rushed through his hair, and his laughter echoed across the heavens. He forgot his father's warning. Higher and higher he climbed, chasing the warmth of the sun, reaching for the clouds, hungry for the sky. But the sun, bright and merciless, burned hot. Slowly, the wax that held his wings began to soften. Feathers loosened. One by one they slipped away. Then, with a final snap, the wings gave out. Icarus tumbled from the sky, his arms flailing like broken wings. He cried out, but no one could save him. He plunged into the sea, and the waves closed over him. That place would forever bear his name, the Icarian Sea. Daedalus, still flying, turned and saw only feathers drifting on the wind. His heart shattered. He had given his son wings, but not the wisdom to fly. Daedalus landed on the shore of a distant land, safe but sorrowful. He would go on to create more wonders, to live many more years, but he would never forget the price of ambition without restraint. And so, the story of Daedalus and Icarus lives on, not just as a tale of flight and invention, but as a timeless warning. Too low, and we are trapped. Too high, and we may fall. The path of wisdom lies between.